Hey you guys, thank you guys for tuning in to another video. Of course, today I feel like I can't have a channel and not talk about these things that are in the news, these different things that have affected the black community and has impacted so many of us. And we've had so many different emotions. I know I have, to where some days, I see the change and we see the protests and we see, the arrests that are being made. We still have a ways to go with that. But, you see those things and it's like, okay, we have some hope. And then there's frustration to where it's like, well, it shouldn't happen in the first place. Or the fact that him being a black male affects so many things. And if it was someone that was a different race, it wouldn't have been the same outcome. So it definitely goes up and down like a roller coaster. I know I had a meeting today for work and we did a check-in and it was like on a scale from 1 to 5, like how are you feeling? And some of us were good, like we fours, they're fives, there was some that was threes, there were twos. Somebody said all of those numbers depending on what's going on that day. And it's real, like you just never know how someone is being impacted and affected by this, especially the black community um, during these times. And unfortunately, it's not something new. It's just something that's being filmed and something that's being put out there on social media. And if it weren't for certain videos, certain arrests wouldn't have been made and things like that. So I just want to do a video to encourage you guys. And I know that I need it too. Okay, so first thing is, I want to just tell you guys, to tell myself, to just be mindful to not be led by your emotions. Do not let the anger make you sin. It's not a sin to be angry. It is perfectly fine to be angry, and it's understandable to be angry, to be frustrated, to be overwhelmed, to be upset, to be sad, to cry, to scream, to yell. It's perfectly okay. I just want us to be mindful that we don't take it to where we do things that are out of our character, in the sense that, I don't know quite how to say this. That we just allow ourselves to get out of ourselves. You know what I mean? And it's easier said than done. Like, it's easier said than done. You just want to be like, bump this. I'm about to get everybody all this smoke. Completely understand. But just to be led by your emotions. Another thing that I want to say is that like I said, it's okay to be angry, and just to allow yourself to have a break. Okay. So sometimes I caught myself being on social media and seeing these things on Instagram, seeing these things on Facebook, these different videos that I posted, other videos that have been out there, and it can be overwhelming and it can get in your spirit to where it just creates a cloud and a darkness in your spirit, and it affects how you go about your day-to-day life. But I will suggest, if you get to that point where you're overwhelmed and you're frustrated by what you're seeing, to take a break, to take time off of social media, get off your app, get off of, get out of those conversations that, aren't uplifting your spirit and encouraging you to help you make a change, but something that's just feeding into how I know so many of us are already feeling. So that's another thing I would suggest. And the third thing I would say is just to have those transparent conversations with those that are in your life, whether it's other black people, if you're black, if you're not, to have those conversations with black people, to come to them, to see, like, how can I support in a positive way. I had a conversation with one of my friends, and she was just being honest and transparent. And by the way, she's white. She's my boo. Hey, Peppa. But she was just saying, like, hey, I don't know how to go about this. Like, if I say something, I don't want to be offensive and insensitive. And if I don't say something, that's just like me saying something that's wrong. And then that can be like, a silence can be saying that you aren't supporting the Black Lives Matter movement, which, I just had that conversation with her to one, to when you're posting things like that, to be mindful in the way that you're saying it and your intentions and your motives. Because if you're coming across as, well, the black community needs to do this when you're not black, that's a no no. So I think too is, your intentions to just be, empathetic with to the black community, because to a certain extent, people, you can't relate. Like, it affects you, but it doesn't affect you in the same way that it affects us, black men and black women, black children that had to experience these things, and it's just not the same. So no matter how justified people may feel in voicing their opinion, you have to be mindful to come into the situation, to be understanding, and to be supportive instead of giving your 2 cents at the end of the day. Um, but that is what I wanted to share. I didn't quite know how to do this video. Of course, I had my days where I've cried, where I've been frustrated, where you just kind of feel like you do so much and it's still kind of not giving the results that you want it to get. And then there's some days, that you see that little glimmer of light at the end of the tunnel. And I just want you to continue to hold on to that light that you have. Don't allow yourself to be led by your emotions. Be able to take those breaks off of social media or out of those conversations that you may have with people around you. And also, if you are not black, to just, if you have someone that's black in your life, to come to them in a way that is understanding and that, is just supportive to what we're going through. Because if, certain things you can understand, but you can't really understand in the same way. And people may have the best of intentions when they say certain things, and some things you just got to be careful with, especially during times like this, because it's just very important to just be there and to come together, because we have to do it together. And it's some things that you may not agree with and you don't have to agree with, but in any way that you can find to support Black Lives Matter, to support justice for the black community, whether it's donating money, whether you're attending a protest, whether you're signing petitions, whether you're sharing certain information about black history on your social media, those types of things we have to continue to do. And we can't just do it because it's in the news and because it's something that we of course see every second. This is something that we have to do consistently down the line. Like, we have to be able to push this Black Lives Matter, to push justice for the black community, for our black men and black women that are losing their lives. We have to consistently do that, and not just for a week, not just for 2 weeks, but we have to make this a part of what we do for down the road. So that is something that I wanted to share. I hope I did good. I don't know. But to my black brothers and sisters, I love you. And even in the midst of all of this, there's nothing more amazing to me than being a black woman. I am just so grateful to be a black woman, regardless of what is said and how people view us. I love my skin, and I love my culture, and I love my people. And I hope that this is good. I don't know what else to say. My hands are sweating a little bit. But I just want you guys to know I love you guys. Be encouraged. Continue to pray. Continue to speak the word over this situation. Your words have power. I know a lot of times it seems kind of cliche to you know, just keep praying and things like that. But no, like it really changes things, and we may not see it right away, but I am a believer that our prayers are seeds and it will bring a harvest one day. So I love you guys. Be encouraged, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, you guys.